Welcome to the beloved community known as the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation, and my pronouns, which I offer to create a truly brave space for all to live into the fullness of their identities, are she and her. I'm joined up front today by Worship Associate Hella Jacob and Sonia Jensen-Schell at the piano. And of course, the unseen geniuses behind or above the scenes, Andy and Les up in our tech loft.
Good morning. My name is Hella Jacob, and I am a member of the worship team, and my pronouns are she and her. For those gathered in the chapel, I invite you to put your phones on airplane mode so that you and all may be fully present and free from distraction, as well as freeing up web bandwidth so that our live streaming friends are able to enjoy the service without disruption. But first, let's do what we do best in this congregation and greet one another, newcomers and long-timers. Let the welcoming begin. That greeting song is just never long enough. Gonna have to get the extended play. Our opening words this morning come from Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Gretchen Haley. There is nothing you need to bring with you to be welcome here. No right beliefs, no proofs of citizenship, no eternal optimism or clarity of conviction, no boundless courage or endless expertise. You do not need to know what brought you here or how you will solve that problem you are turning over and over and over in your mind. Your bills do not need to be paid, and your checkbook can be a mess. Your children may have been up half the night. Your hearing aids may not be working, and your knees may be creaking. You do not need to be already perfect. or even halfway, to belong in this circle where grace meets us where we are, but does not leave us as it found us, where love resides in each of us, yet is somehow more than all, where life still pulses and rages and heals and transforms, creating us and this day anew once again. And so come, let us worship together.
Like many Unitarian Universalist congregations, it is our custom when we gather to light a flaming chalice, and I'm going to ask Chris Berry to come up and assist this morning. The chalice is a cup or vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. The flame represents the spark that each of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment to bring more compassion and justice to the world. Now please join me in speaking our chalice lighting words. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of life. Each week, as we light the chalice to symbolize the gathered community, we also acknowledge that our church is built on holy ground, ground that was first cultivated and occupied by the Haudenosaunee and those known as the Neutrals. We honor them as the original keepers of the land. We offer this libation as our giveaway, a symbol of our respect for and deep connection with the land. May we be good stewards of the land and courageously cultivate community with all living things. Together we weave a tapestry of reverence and belonging. Our song of intention this morning is a music video created by the Unitarian Church of the Foothills, combining one of our oldest traditional hymns with not-so-traditional words. We won't be singing along, just sit and take in the medium and the message.
With me, and please don't flee. I look inside when it's hard to see. This eventide, take a ride around the bend. Still with me, abide when the shadows begin. So much has faded, left me jaded. God has changed, it's complicated. From growth to decay, emergence be beyond thought and strategy.
Lift to its close and sacrifice little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay, and all around I see. All our change is not abide with me.
So many know, I fear no foe. There is a steadiness on which I flow. Through the sickness, grandmother's wisdom is with us. In liminal spaces, feeling so breathless. Death is an exhale, inhale with us. New life cuts through strife like a knife. Somehow we take it in, moving for the win. Shaping change, and from endings begin. You are a holy friend.
Where is the sting? Where
We are a beloved community, a gathering of people who have chosen to journey together, to encourage one another, and to be part of something important and life-changing. Because we aspire to be such people, we make bold promises about how we will be with one another. Whether today is your first time or you've made UU Amherst your long-term home, you are invited to share our sacred promise. Together, we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world.
Our journey has begun. We've gathered and greeted one another. We've acknowledged with deep gratitude the legacy of the land that holds us and the light we carry within. Everything we have done to this point is centering practice, because we come to church to find our center, to be reminded that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that we are held in a love that defies our understanding. And so we bear witness to one another's joy and pain. We make room in the circle and in our hearts for all that we bring. You'll note that the table where we acknowledge our joy and pain is round. It's a gathering place. Even as you bring your individual hopes and cares, you are part of a circle of love. So I invite you to gather around. Maybe even look up, exchange a smile, maybe an encouraging touch. And we can let go of neat lines and cues. Just gather around and be mindful of one another. Try not to step on toes, philosophically and actually. But I invite you to come forward as you will, as the music plays, and to bring that which is on your heart. Come forward as you will.
By the waters of Babylon, where we sat down, and where we wept, when we remember Zion. By the waters of Babylon, where we sat down, and where we wept, when we remember Zion, where the wicked carry us away captivity, require of us a song. How can we sing our holy song in a strange land? By the wicked carry us away captivity, require of us a song. How can we sing our holy song in a strange land? So let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, overhigh.
Let's share a few breaths as we expand our circle to include those who may not be present, but are certainly present in our hearts and minds. Today we hold Betty Howell and her family in our thoughts as Jack passed away this week. Let them know that they are loved and held in this circle. We lift up all those who are ill, those who are in pain, either in body or in spirit, those who are lonely, those who have been wronged. We are part of a web of life that makes us one with all humanity. one with all the universe. We are grateful for the miracle of consciousness that we share, the consciousness that gives us the power to remember, to love, and to care. May it ever be so in our lives. I have a big question. And if you like me at all, please do not call out the answer. What is wrong with me? Thank you. I'm sure you never ask yourselves that. Or its companion question, why can't I just fill in the blank? I ask myself these questions. Take mushrooms, for example. I distinctly remember my mom inviting me to try a stuffed mushroom when I was 10. I have spent the 50 years since then trying to learn to like mushrooms. People tell me they're delicious. They get all excited about certain types, and it seems like small and shrivelly is particularly enticing. Nope. I can manage to eat a few in a stew, but I do not like them. This is true. Now I know. You're going to tell me that I just haven't had the right kind or had them prepared in the right way. It's a texture thing. They squeak. You know it. At first, ooh. But instead of logically considering how we all have different tastes and preferences, I turn the spotlight on my inability to measure up to the mushroom crowd. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just get over the weird texture and embrace the nutritional nirvana that mushroom lovers apparently experience? There's definitely something terribly wrong with me. Of course, that's ridiculous, right? Right? Sometimes I feel like a square peg in a round hole. And since you are here with me, I'm going to take a wild guess that occasionally you share that feeling. This slide has a cartoon of a square peg on the wrong side of a round hole that says, "Welcome to heaven, enter here." And the square peg is saying, well, crap. It is easy to feel like a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. I guess I'm here to tell you that in a society that seems to have one round hole way to heaven, we are probably the square pegs that will never ever fit. As Unitarian Universalists, our theology does not fit easily into a niche. We are people of a wide path, when so much of our culture seems to be narrowing down to the least common denominator: square peg, round hole. Did you know that over 90% of people attending Unitarian Universalist congregations, 90% are what we call come-inners? We've come to UU from something else, or maybe from nothing else. If we have come from other traditions, we might want UU to be nothing like we have experienced in the past. And that can come with a long list of don'ts, especially if some kind of hurt was experienced. For those who come from no particular religious background, the language of reverence, things like God, spirituality, these words may be empty and feel unimportant. Now we also have, I told you about the 90%, but we also have 10% of Unitarian Universalists who have grown up in this faith and love its peculiarities, its hero-filled history, and are pretty adept at juggling religious words and practices because they've been taught to appreciate the gifts that various religions bring. And of course, there are people who arrive at our doors from other religious traditions and they crave the comfort and the challenge of the language of reverence, or the music, or the rhythm and flow of the service. And probably there is someone who just happened to stop in to turn around in our driveway, and now they popped in to see what the UUs are up to. We are all here, present and accounted for. We are a mixture of square, round, triangular, hexagonal, did I say that right? And every other possible peg we can imagine. And that works here, even if we do occasionally step on someone else's toes. We covenant to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit. Our Universalist ancestor, Francis David, was put to death for the crime of innovation of religion. Hey, I have a bright new idea. Nope. That's against the law. Now, granted, that was the 16th century, but if you're paying attention to what is happening now in our country and beyond, you know that there is an expectation that all pegs be the same shape and provide the same function. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with being a round peg. The world needs round pegs. The difficulty arises when round holes are the only option for pegs of all sizes and shapes. For those of us who don't quite fit into the expected niche, it can seem like life is made up of various sizes of boxes, and we just don't fit in. I happen to have a selection of boxes up front, the largest of which is labeled expectations. Can we talk a little bit about expectations? So here's a question for you, something that I wonder. I wonder what expectations, your own or someone else's, that you are not living up to. What expectations, your own or someone else's, are you not living up to?
Not being an annoying sister.
Okay, that's a serious one, right? Big expectations there. Do you want the microphone?
Everyone's.
Oh, everyone's expectations? Yes, not living up to, how about anyone's? I'm not living up to anyone's expectations. And I'll get you in just a second, Sonia.
Not just being easy and going along, and instead I'm dealing with problems rather than ignoring them. That's a problem for a lot of people.
Oh, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. I'm a people pleaser. Oh my goodness, that is a rough one for me.
I expect of myself to be able to find the good in everybody, and feel like I'm falling really short of that in a lot of cases lately.
Thank you for that. Feeling, oh, I can't repeat it.
I expect of myself to be able to find the good in everybody, and lately I've found it very difficult to do that in a lot of cases.
Yeah. We believe in it, we affirm it, but it's hard to do it.
Keeping a tidy house.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that one.
My son believes that just because I'm 80, it doesn't mean I can't do everything.
What does he know? Child, right? Okay, so we understand what it is like to not live up to somebody else's expectations for us. So I am here to say that I am not living up to others' expectations. Some of you may have expectations for how a minister comports themselves. Sorry about that. That's not me. So when the faith of my youth shattered, my friends at the time responded with alarm. They said, "But you're the spiritual giant." Their words, not mine. "How can you fall so far?" What I need you to hear is that if you are not living up to expectations, it does not mean you don't belong. Expectations are not bad. I may have just painted them as being bad or silly or whatever, but they're not bad. Our Unitarian Universalist principles can be thought of as a list of expectations. If you want to claim to be a Unitarian Universalist, you'd probably be best trying to live according to our principles. If you're new to UU and you're in the chapel, you can find those principles on the back of your order of service. For those of you who are joining online, you can go to our website, uuamherst.org, and find our principles there. Be gentle with one another. So the current language of our principles is to affirm and promote. We affirm for ourselves and potentially for another. So I might see you enacting what it means to respect the interdependent web of all existence, and I can affirm those efforts. To promote takes us into an area that many UUs find terrifying: proselytizing. I sure hope you proselytize. If you have found a good thing here, I want you to tell people. I am going to tell you that the broccoli cheese soup at Wegmans is outstanding. It's amazing. And poof, right now, you have just been proselytized. I just gave you some advice. Go get you some of that broccoli cheese soup. Of course, I'm being ridiculous, but it's to make a point. Telling someone about something you found that adds meaning and joy to your life is simply sharing. We don't claim that there is something fundamentally wrong with someone who just doesn't care for broccoli cheese soup or Unitarian Universalism. So our principles can be thought of as expectations. And we try to live up to these rather lofty goals. Expectations that nudge us to be better humans are not the kind that can box us in. I bet you have experienced expectations that were not only not useful, but were detrimental to your essential self. So let me randomly come up with 2 examples that I may have written here in my tablet. A teacher says to a student, "Aha, I had your older sibling in class and they were an excellent writer and artist. I expect no less from you." Luckily, I was an only child, so I never had that. And sometimes expectations come all wrapped up in tradition and family honor. We expect you will follow in your parents' footsteps. Do not let the family down. Heavy, big box expectations. So all of the boxes I have up here have both a positive and a negative side. So there's one here, putting others first. Well, that can be admirable and rewarding, unless we always put ourselves last. One of the ways I have boxed myself into this was with a little game I like to call meeting their needs before they know they have them. There's a little mind reading in that game. It's great fun. It's very rewarding. It is not. And I don't suppose I have any other fellow need meters in the room, I see you. It's okay to put others first when the conditions are right and everyone has the same amount of power. Oh, and one of my most favorite boxes, it's cute and little and looks like it's harmless. Ashamed. The thing that likes to be put in that box is perfectionism. I don't suppose we have any perfectionists in the room.
Good morning, everyone.
Or anyone who feels
Respectful.
shame for not giving 110%
Good to see
all
everybody here
the
on a nice,
time.
bright, sunny day. I'm currently
what does
secretary of
110%
your board of
even look
trustees, and it's my pleasure
If
to
I
stand up here
overfill
as we
my
invite
cat's
ourselves
water
together
dish
as a
by an
congregation
additional
to connect.
10%, there is
I'm
no
part of
more
the
water in the
10%.
dish. There's just a
Not the
mess on the
90%.
floor. Let's let go of that idea that we
My
have to
first
somehow
Unitarian
give
Universalist
more
service
than our capacity.
Was probably when I was a month old,
That should be the end of the sermon, but
Back in
I
my
still have
hometown
some
in
time,
Utica.
so I'll fill it here.
but be that as it may,
So here's a box that's
connecting
not
is what counts.
visibly labeled. Let's see if I
As
can
our
do this
service
without
draws
putting
to an
down the
end,
whole thing.
our service for the world is ready to
Using my
begin.
wonder box.
Let me tell you about some of the
Wisdom.
opportunities that connect
hope
and
it's still in
serve
there, yes.
our congregation in the
There's a
days
little
to
trust
come.
game. Let the paper be there.
I want to first
So,
tell you to mark your
wisdom. That
calendars
seems like
for
a really
Sunday,
good thing to
April
have.
23rd, when Reverend Michelle will
And
be offering a workshop on
I just
communication
can't
skills
box myself
following
in
the
by
regular
trying
service.
to know the most about a
Who does
subject.
not need to improve their
I
communication
have to say it is
skills?
very humbling to me
I know no
that
one.
no matter
Certainly
what
not myself.
subject I preach
The workshop, which will take place
There
at
is at
noon
least
that day,
one
is
person in
sponsored
the
by
room
the
who's
Leadership
wiser
Development
than I
and
am.
Nominating Committee.
So
In only
I
2
don't have
weeks
to
from
be
today, we'll be celebrating
the one who
Easter
knows
on Sunday,
everything.
April 9th.
My mom was
Special
right.
day
Nobody
for all
likes to know
ages.
it all.
It's my understanding the
that
Easter Bunny will be
need,
here.
that perfection, it's a type of perfectionism.
Some folks are too
to
big
need
for
to
the
know all
costumes.
the things.
Be somebody else, I think.
So
But the
as
Easter
we
Bunny
learn
might be
to
making an appearance, and there'll be
move
crafts
in
for
and out of
children
these
during the
boxes,
service, and they
expectations,
can be
perfectionism,
free.
Shame,
What's up
putting
with that?
ourselves
It's
last,
free.
others first.
Toy
and
prize
needing to
egg
be
hunt
the
following the
expert in
service.
room.
This is my
We can
favorite
create
candy
new
time of
and
the year.
interesting
Peeps
boxes.
are one of my shortcomings.
Like,
It's one of those boxes over here, I think. In any case, please invite friends, relatives, neighbors, anybody you
And
think might like to
So,
participate
this is, no, that,
in a UU style.
I've played Jenga. I know that the
celebration
big box
for
cannot go
children.
on top of the little box. We'll just trust that they're
Now
both
we
there.
have a special word from the
We can
clothing
bring more love
ministry
to the
team,
world, and we can grow
and I'm
our
sure this is
souls.
going to be special. I
We're
have no
not
doubt
so
about that.
Wrapped up and
Here they
boxed
come.
in to all of these other things. So I also have up here my sacred mirror. This fancy design. I looked up sacred mirror on Google, and that's what it gave me. I have no idea what it is, but it's
Yes,
very
it's
fancy.
true. We are out of
So
clothes
this
today.
mirror I found in
Bringing
know
you
where I
some
found
of
it.
the finest fashions from
not
our
any
clothing
place where I had to
industry
pay
on
money
the
for it.
second
So
floor of the
I spent it
RE
in the
wing.
junk bin.
So please stop
And I
by
claimed it and I decorated it.
little
It's got
shopping,
superpowers
because you will be
on
helping
it.
your
That's 'cause
planet.
that's what I'm claiming.
Yes, we're going to keep
And I made this
clothing and
mirror
accessories out of
when I was
landfill.
still feeling that
The old
stinging
one man's
rejection
trash is another man's
from
treasure.
those who felt
As
that
evidenced
I had
here
abandoned
by
or
some
just
of our
confirmed
lovely
them
models.
in my decision
So
to
we'll
make
look
other
forward to
choices.
seeing you upstairs.
So this mirror has been my friend throughout the decades, keeping me honest, keeping me on track, demanding my authenticity, even when it felt scary, unsafe, or irrelevant. This is the sacred
There is no
mirror.
ability to top that announcement. But,
No self-delusion.
of course, we'd be
is
remiss if we did not
possible here.
invite you to participate in supporting the mission
This
and
mirror
ministry of
shows
UU
only
Amherst with your financial gifts. You'll find a green basket in the back of the chapel to receive your
And I wonder what you
contributions,
see.
or you can give
when you look in the
online by
mirror.
going to our website,
That.
uuamherst.org, and clicking
So
on the
can we
giving
just,
link,
like, sit with that
or
for
of
a
course you can
second?
text your gift to the number on the screen. Throughout the month of
Find
April,
places to
we'll be
put
sharing the offering with the Green
All
Justice
of the
Team
personas,
so that they can
those
raise funds for
masks
next
we wear,
September's Living Green
that
Festival,
we've chosen
second
to
annual
embody
Living Green
or to
Festival, I should
leave
know.
behind. Can we just
More
acknowledge
information is
that,
available in
that
the
we do that?
newsletter, We'll be telling you about it
Those
today. We're
personas
telling you about it today
being
because we want you to be able to
the
plan
person with the
ahead
excellent
and
housekeeping,
contribute
even
generously
when
to
all of life
next
is
year or
much
this
too
year's
busy
Living Green
for that
Festival.
to actually be
Your gifts and participation are important because we pick fruit from the trees we did
being
not plant.
the best, the most
We
knowledgeable.
know we drink water from
the good
wells
daughter,
we
the good
certainly did
son,
not
the
dig.
good child, the good adult,
This is as it
the
should be,
good
so
parent.
long as we dig and plant for those who come after
There's a
us.
lot there.
Your
Maybe
generous
we're all
giving
fit in that
supports the
expectation
work of
box.
this
Maybe we can wrap it up
congregation
and send it off
and
UPS.
us as a
Someone will take
beloved community.
I am by no means saying that we are perfect and
Now
that
I
we don't
invite
need
you
to
to
work on
rise in body or
ourselves.
spirit as we sing our closing blessing
Inherent
and remain
worth
standing
and
as we
dignity
extinguish the
is
chalice.
our birthright. It is a
Travel
gift that we have been
light
given.
and travel
But
easy
what we
till
do
I
with that gift
see you once again. Travel light and travel easy. And
What's wrong with us?
remember
Nothing.
I'm your friend.
Nothing that love and acceptance and becoming
Rise up
can't
to
fix.
greet you.
No, we can be a bit wonky at times. But essentially, we are people dedicated to what Brene Brown describes as wholehearted living. For ourselves, for others, for this beautiful planet. We may be on various points on the path, but I believe that if you are here, if you have found a home in this wide path faith, then you are dedicated to wholehearted living. March 31st is Transgender Visibility Day, a day to honor those who are courageously becoming their more authentic selves. It's not an easy path, nor is it very often logical or sequential. Like a labyrinth, there may be turns and reversals on the pathway to wholeness. How can we know the inner life of another?
These we carry in our hearts.
Some pegs
until
become
we
shapes
die
we do not
together
understand.
again. You may return your phones to
I
active
believe it is
mode
up
and
to
go in
us,
peace.
people
Make
of the
a
wide
difference in the world.
path, to whittle away at the edges of those round holes to allow pegs of any size or shape to live into the fullness of their identities. We can be vulnerable enough to speak honestly of expectations, shame, and perfection. We can choose not to avert our gaze, but to see them. Really see them for the person they are becoming. And together, we can create a wholehearted life. I offer us an opportunity to bring their light to the world. To make their journey visible. And so, if you are carrying in your heart someone who is transgender or is questioning their identity, I invite you to come forward and to light a tea light candle from one of these lotuses and let their light shine. Come forward as you will.
I want you to know that you are strong, that you are safe, that you are loved. I want you to know how much I love you, how much you mean to me. No matter how far apart we are, no matter what happens to us, me here in my heart. I want you to know that you are strong, that you are safe, that you are loved. I want you to know how much I love you, how much you mean to me. No matter how far apart we are, no matter what happens to us, you will always be right here with me, here in my heart. I want you to know that you are strong, that you are safe, that you are loved. I want you to know how much I love you, how much you mean to me. No matter how far apart we are, no matter what happens to us, you will always be right here with me, here in my heart.
I close with a reading from retired Unitarian Universalist minister from Rochester, Richard Gilbert, entitled Gentleness in Living. Be gentle with one another. It is a cry from the lives of people battered by thoughtless words and brutal deeds. It comes from the lips of those who speak them and the lives of those who do them. Who of us can look inside another and know what is there of hope and hurt, or promise and pain? Who can know from what far places each has come, or to what far places each may go? Our lives are like fragile eggs. They crack, and the substance escapes. Handle with care. Handle with exceedingly tender care, for there are human beings within. Human beings as vulnerable as we are, who feel as we feel, who hurt as we hurt. Life is too transient to be cruel with one another. It is too short for thoughtlessness, too brief for hurting. Life is long enough for caring. It is lasting enough for sharing, precious enough for love. Be gentle with one another. We're going to continue the gentleness as we sing together, How Could Anyone? It's number 1053 in the teal hymnal, but the words are up front. Sonia will play through the melody once, and then we will rise and sing it through 3 times. So the first time will probably be a little, woo, we don't know. And you'll get there. Sonia. We'll listen to it one time. Please rise.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bruce Becker. Good to see everybody here on a nice, bright, sunny day. I'm currently secretary of your Board of Trustees, and it's my pleasure to stand up here as we invite ourselves together as a congregation to connect. I'm part of the 10%, not the 90%. My first Unitarian Universalist service was probably when I was a month old, back in my hometown in Utica. But be that as it may, connecting is what counts. As our service draws to an end, our service for the world is ready to begin. Let me tell you about some of the opportunities that connect and serve our congregation in the days to come. I want to first to tell you to mark your calendars for Sunday, April 23rd, when Reverend Michelle will be offering a workshop on communication skills following the regular service. Who does not need to improve their communication skills among us? I know no one, certainly not myself. The workshop, which will take place at noon that day, is sponsored by the Leadership Development and Nominating Committee. In only 2 weeks from today, we'll be celebrating Easter on Sunday, April 9th, special day for all ages. It's my understanding the Easter Bunny will be here. Some folks are too big for the costume, so it will be somebody else, I think. But the Easter Bunny might be making an appearance, and there will be crafts for children during the service, and a candy-free, what's up with that, candy-free, toy prize egg hunt following the service. This is my favorite candy time of the year. Peeps are one of my shortcomings. It's one of those boxes over here, I think. In any case, please invite friends, relatives, neighbors, anybody you think might like to participate in a UU-style Easter celebration for children. And now we have a special word from the clothing ministry team, and I'm sure this is going to be special. I have no doubt about that. Here they come.
Yes, it's true, we are out of the closet today. Bringing you some of the finest fashions from our clothing ministry on the second floor of the RE wing. So please stop by after church and do a little shopping, because you will be helping your planet. Yes, we're going to keep our clothing and accessories out of landfill. The old one man's trash is another man's treasure, as evidenced here by some of our lovely models. So we'll look forward to seeing you upstairs.
There is no ability to top that announcement, but of course we'd be remiss if we did not invite you to participate in supporting the mission and ministry of UU Amherst with your financial gifts. You'll find a green basket in the back of the chapel to receive your contributions, or you can give online by going to our website, uuamherst.org, and clicking on the giving link, or of course you can text your gift to the number on the screen. Throughout the month of April, we'll be sharing the offering with the Green Justice Team so that they can raise funds for next September's Living Green Festival, second annual Living Green Festival, I should know. More information is available in the newsletter. We'll be telling you about it today. We're telling you about it today because we want you to be able to plan ahead and contribute generously to next year or this year's Living Green Festival. Your gifts and participation are important because we pick fruit from the trees we did not plant. We know we drink water from wells we certainly did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. Your generous giving supports the work of this congregation and us as a beloved community.
Thank
Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing blessing and remain standing as we extinguish the chalice. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. May the road rise up to greet you as you leave your past behind. I will think about you gently, and I'll hold you in my mind. Third verse, you know what to do. Share the love, twinkle your eyes. Here we go. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. Chris, would you mind extinguishing the chalice? Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she